Who's back? I said, guess who's back?
Hey, what's going on, guys? UFC 281. It was a great card. Thoroughly enjoyed all the fights. I was very disappointed in Adesanya losing. I'm a bit of a fan, but I'm a fan of both fighters. I feel like Adesanya just can't get a break, man. Can't get a break. I think he's been very unlucky in all three fights. I'm not trying to give any excuses. I'm just, my breakdown is that he's been very unlucky in all three fights. The first kickboxing fight he had with Pereira, I think he was winning, and I think he should have got the decision. He didn't. In the second fight, he was definitely winning. He tried to press the action, probably because of the first fight, not wanting to get robbed like he did in the first fight, or let's just say not wanting to lose. So he pushed the action and he was too offensive, and that's not his style, and he got caught. He was unlucky there because he was clearly winning. So in both fights, he was winning and he lost. And then in this fight, he was winning. He was 3-1 up in my book. Some people might even say 3-0, but I think 3-1 going into the fifth round. Excuse me. And he damaged his leg from the leg kick. Couldn't walk on it properly. Stopped his movement. Adesanya is somebody who his movement is the most important part of his game, or one of at least. He relies on it for his reactions, for his defense, his footwork, to set up his counter punches, for his angles, everything. So when he got that kick, the peroneal nerve, I think it's called, in his leg, I might have completely said the wrong thing there, but it was the nerve in his leg was damaged from not checking the kicks properly, and that's part of the game. So you can't really say, if I didn't have that problem. It is a part of the game, which was really good that Adesanya actually acknowledged that it's a part of the game. He got kicked, he didn't check the kick properly, and it damaged his movement, stopped his movement, his ability to move. That's the reason why he got cornered. That's also the reason why he was on the fence and couldn't really get out the way. Got caught with 2 or 3 good shots, but he wasn't out. People say he was out on his feet, but he wasn't. He wasn't out on his feet. He was a bit dazed, but you can see that when he had his head down, he was slipping the shots. He was moving, slipping the shots, waiting for an opportunity to either slip out to the right or to hold or something, and he may have seen the round out. He might have seen the round out if the referee didn't jump in prematurely. Now, I use the word prematurely. A lot of people are gonna disagree with me on that point, but personally, I think it was a little bit premature. I'm kind of comforted by the fact that I've seen online a few people who have said the same thing, so it's not like I'm just talking crazy. Obviously, majority of people probably think it was a fair stoppage. I think it was a bit early. Having said that, I want to be fair in my assessment. I personally think it was a little bit early, but I don't really want to kind of concentrate on that, because at the same time, some people say that it was completely fair. Some people say it could have even been stopped before that. So, I don't want to focus too much on thinking it was a bit early. He was obviously dazed. Pereira landed in that sequence at the end, in the fifth round. Pereira landed, 6-7 clean punches, which, after that, Adesanya actually fell to his knees, but he kind of fell because he was kind of being punched that direction, but he kind of knew what he was doing, and because Pereira was so close to him, he couldn't really circle out of it yet, and he had his head down and he was kind of bobbing and weaving. He still looked like he was kind of in it, but at the same time, some people say one more punch could end up being fatal. You never know. And so the referee probably did a perfect job, and maybe he did get it right, you know what I mean, because he didn't look out on his feet, but he was extremely close to it, and it's better to kind of it's better to be more careful than to let something go. It only takes one more punch to have extremely worse scenario happen. The consequences of one more punch can last a lifetime. So I do understand that the referee was looking out for his well-being. So in that case, I'm going to end up saying that it was a fair stoppage and Pereira was the correct person to win. But my mindset was kind of like it was a little bit too early, if you understand what I'm saying. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself. I just don't want to be unfair to Pereira saying that it was, too soon. He did land 6-7 punches, and that's a lot of power punches to land on anyone, So congratulations to Pereira. It's a difficult one, man. I feel sorry for Adesanya. Like I've said a few times already, it always seems to be that he's winning the fight and then somehow Pereira comes back and overtakes him in some way. This has been an ongoing theme from their first fight to the second fight to this fight. I think part of it is their fighting style. Pereira seems to be a bit of a kind of methodical, kind of plodding character. It takes his time. Whereas Adesanya is more of a kind of a fast twitch, even though he takes his time, Adesanya is kind of like a front runner, and Pereira is more like a long distance runner, if you see what I mean. He always seems to come back at the end, kind of one of those people that pick you to the post. He's done that in many fights. The first fight, I think he lost, but he got the decision. The second fight, he was losing, but he got the knockout punch as Adesanya became too aggressive. This fight, Adesanya didn't check the kick, and then he became more stationary, and Pereira's pressure, which he definitely needs to be commended on. His pressure, he cut off the ring really well, and he damaged Adesanya's legs, so he couldn't move. You know what I mean? So it was a fair win. It was a fair decision and a good performance by Pereira. What does Adesanya do now? I would love to see him come back in his rematch, because I still don't think it was so decisive that Adesanya couldn't win. I don't think it's so decisive that Adesanya has no chance of ever beating Pereira. And I think that's the one thing that Adesanya has to hold on to. His performances in every single fight with Pereira have been good performances, even the one where he got knocked out. They've all been situations where he was winning. The first fight, like I said, the second fight, they've all been situations where he was winning, he was landing the cleaner shots, and something went wrong. In this fight, it was the damage to his leg early on. Adesanya has to take the blame for that, which he has done. He knew that he didn't check the kicks properly, and it affected him. Other than that, it was a really good performance by Adesanya, but what's a good performance if you don't win? It's kind of the same as Michael Chandler against Dustin Poirier. Same kind of thing. Chandler always has an amazing performance. He's actually a really good fighter, very explosive, lands some good clean shots, he's got good takedown, good jab, good kicks, as we saw when he finished Ferguson, but he just can't win for some reason. He seems to be more concerned with putting on a great performance for the fans, and his priority is not really winning. That's what I see in Michael Chandler, and it's that type of thing. It's that type of thing with him. But Adesanya is having trouble with beating this guy, and it seems to be his nemesis, but not necessarily his kryptonite. Two different things. Kryptonite, you can't beat it, it's always going to beat you. Your nemesis is kind of like your ultimate challenge, and I think that if that ultimate challenge of beating Pereira is something that motivates Adesanya, which I hope it is, then I would love to see the rematch, and I think he's got every chance to beat him once and for all in the rematch. But we'll have to see. I mean, like I've mentioned, I don't think that Pereira has looked unbeatable in any of the 3 encounters that they've had. He's looked far from unbeatable. He has some benefits that Adesanya doesn't have. Being the bigger, heavier man means that he takes shots better and he recovers better. That is one thing I've seen in every single fight. He recovers better, and I think this is to do with being naturally the bigger man. So that's something to take into consideration. Other than that, I didn't see any particular advantage for Pereira. He didn't look considerably stronger in the clinch either. So Adesanya definitely can come back and have a chance of beating him. That's all I got for now, guys, on this one. I'm going to do a separate video on the whole card of the main fighters and what happened and what I think, the post-fight reaction. But yeah, Adesanya no longer the champion. Sometimes that's exactly what you need, a new mountain to climb. He can focus on beating Pereira in the rematch, and I think that's the best thing you can hope for. But it was a good performance from him, from both fighters. Both fighters need to be congratulated. We've got a new champion. We need to respect the new champion. He's going to be difficult to beat. On to the next one. Real quick, guys, I just want to say I really appreciate everyone who took time out to listen to my videos. If you enjoyed my content, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.